What is the best natural treatment for anxiety? It's definitely not coffee, but I'm not anxious right now. So, what is the best natural treatment for anxiety? Um, First of all, anxiety is not a disease, it is a collection of different symptoms, about a dozen symptoms. When you have that, we call it anxiety, but the symptoms show up for a very normal, natural response that we all have. It's a flight or fight response. So, why is anxiety considered to be wrong? Why does it need to be treated? The thing is that the flight or fight response is not the problem. It is the conclusion which is made unconsciously that triggers this response without our permission consciously. For example, if your boss is expecting a report from you by 3 o'clock this afternoon and that is causing you anxiety, it is not the right place to have the flight or the fight or response. The flight or fight response is supposed to be a physical response. It's a response to a physical threat. But you see, what is happening is we are now responding to a non-physical threat. It could be an emotional threat, it could be a mental situation, but we respond with a very physical response. And that is why we experience things like panic attack, we experience things like high BP, heart palpitations, acid reflux, muscle tension, just chest pain. These are things that the flight or fight response triggers in us. So, one thing that we want to pay attention to, and I want to bring to your attention here, is what gets affected. And there are two words to remember this: nervous system. Nervous system. Everything is about the nervous system. Okay, how we say things like, I'm feeling nervous. Anxiety and everything that we do, everything that we feel as symptoms, these are all connected to our nervous system. So, if we want to deal with the symptoms of anxiety, we want to do things that reduce the stimulation towards the nervous system and calm the nerves down. Okay. Now, most people that I talk to use diversion, which is great. Diversion from the symptoms in order to combat the symptoms. For example, someone who's experiencing a symptom like sleep deprivation because of anxiety, and they have a habit of turning to games. They sit with their games all night long because, well, they're sleep deprived, right? Now, when they're playing the games, you are involving the nervous system, whether you like it or not. Okay, all of the inputs that you're getting through your eyes, through your ears, and through the kinesthetics as you play your game, right? These are all involving your nervous system. The nervous system has to process all the signal impulses that are coming in. What happens? Well, somehow you feel tired because you've diverted yourself from the sleep deprivation symptom. You will go to work the next morning, the whole cycle repeats again, come back at night, sleep deprived, go to the game, play it. This is having impact on your body, on your mind, on your emotional state, mental state. And because we are creatures of adaptation, we adapt to some things like these, to the cycles that we create and loop it up. We remain in these loops. So clearly it does not really help when we stimulate our nervous system again and again. And this is the reason why people talk about modalities like meditation, right? They say meditate. Now, I'm not suggesting you do meditation. The best treatment for taking care of the symptom of anxiety is what works best for you, whatever calms your nerves down. So, if you're someone who enjoys nature, a walk in the park is perfect to calm your nerves down. If you can reduce the inputs or the impulses on your nervous system, that's perfect. Okay, I'm leaving a link in the comments. No matter what platform you're watching me on right now, you will find the link to a resource that you can use. There are plenty of resources in that folder. This is called as HemiSync. It allows you to synchronize the hemispheres of your brain, drop the frequencies from high beta, which is when you are busy, your brain is completely in high beta. It will drop it down and relax. That's the beauty of being in today's age. You don't really need to start with meditation and go to Himalayas to learn something like that. You can just relax in your bed in a supine position, just lie down, put the earphones and listen to this. Allow the thoughts to come through. If you're having thoughts at that time that are not pleasant, that's a winner. It's nothing is wrong with that. Okay, the fact that you're able to tell that there are thoughts that are unpleasant to you when you close your eyes and just listen to something like this, it only means that you're finally allowing yourself to see the thoughts that are running in the background unconsciously. So you're working, you're eating, you're being with your loved ones. There are these noises in the background that you're not even aware of. When you're sitting quietly, when you're giving yourself that space, you see all of these thoughts come up. That's like taking a clear glass of water and putting it, in fact, a muddy glass of water, leave it there for some time without disturbing it, and the dust will settle. So as you keep doing it for a few days, you'll notice that your thoughts begin to become clearer. Now, let's be realistic about this. If you've been binge eating for the last 5 years and you do fasting for one day, do not expect to lose a ton of weight. It's the same thing with a modality like this, like a hemisync or a meditation. You got plenty of apps. If you're doing it for one day for 10 minutes, don't expect things to just change drastically immediately. Try it out for at least 30 days consistently and see how that changes the way your symptoms show up. But more importantly, towards the end, I want to draw your attention to the fact that you have these symptoms showing up, the flight or fight response showing up, and ask yourself, why does it show up at these odd times? If you have a date at 5 p.m. today and you're running late and you are freaking out with some symptom of anxiety, that's just supposed to be an emotional situation or a mental situation. That does not need a physical response like you're under threat. We have made conclusions unconsciously, and all of us have that, and that is the reason why we have these triggers. To resolve that for good, you need to talk to someone who can allow you the safe space to investigate this and resolve it once and for all. Now, this is something which I help people do. If you want to find out more, you don't need to spend years, months, days and weeks to do this. Just one conversation is enough. You will find my link for a strategy call anywhere on my profile, no matter what platform you're watching me on right now. Click on that. It's a completely free strategy call, and I guarantee you that you will find immense insights from your own unconscious mind by the end of 45 minutes. Then you can make up your mind whether you want to work with me or not. But it's just one conversation away. You're just one conversation away from finding out what is the reason for your anxiety to show up again and again, and also find the best resource from your own unconscious mind, not from me, not my suggestions or advice, from your unconscious mind to resolve this problem once and for all. Until then, you can use these resources that I'm sharing with you. Feel free to find relief from them, but don't expect them to resolve the issue for you. I hope this helps you, my friend. Take care and all the best.